Good morning. Good morning, friends. Today, I like to talk about Mahabalipuram and the places to visit in Mahabalipuram, right? Mahabalipuram is an important place of classical monument in India, the monolithic and cave temples. It is also known as Mahabalipuram. This place attracts large number of visitors from all over the world. It is situated close to the sea and is rich in artistic wealth also. These monuments afford a scope for not only the study of ancient architecture and sculpture in Tamil country. So the rich portraits in stone of various deities, celestial beauties and epic stories and breathtakingly royal in sculptures. The Shore Temple, cave temples, the world's largest, is the pride of Mahabalipuram in India. It was one of the flourishing port of Pallavas. An old lighthouse built on a stone exists intact with till date, proclaiming the glory of Pallava trade and maritime supremacy. It also the birthplace of one of the first three Alvas, Bhudatalvar. Since Pallava kings were both Saivites and Vaishnavites, Mahabalipuram has shrines of both beliefs, Vishnu and Shiva. Through no formal worship is done today, a large number of visitors came every day to enjoy the sculpture and splendor of Pallava's art architecture. The monolithic and scooped out of caves temples are of the different dates. The 7th and 8th centuries can be said to be the golden age of embossed sculptures in cave temples. Badami, Mamallai and Ellora cave temples belong to this period. So please note actually this Badami, Mamallai and Ellora cave temples belong to the same period, 7th and 8th century. So 7th and 6th, 7th and earlier period of 8th century were considered to be the Pallava reign, and after 8th century again actually 8th to 9th actually the Cholas came to the power. So giant imposed sculptures can be found here. All of them are origin of the events following the Puranas. And in Magish Suramati Mandapam, Mahishashas Suramartini Mandapam, there are two contrasting images of Vishnu reclining gently and Durga fighting aggressively. In the Varaha Mandapam, the deities are placed in the center and given prominence, and various images are made to surround them. You can see amazing liveliness in this cave temples. Mahishasha Mardini, the pronunciation might differ. Mahishasha Mardini. So if we are talking about this history, Mahabalipuram town lies on the Coromandel coast, which it faces the Bay of Bengal. It is an ancient seaside town. This is an elegant place to which to watch, or to which a well-established seaport was during 7th to 10th centuries of Pallava dynasty. This was the second capital of Pallavas who ruled Kanjipuram. There is a story behind the name of Mahabalipuram. Mamallapuram king Narshimha I was a great and valiant warrior. He was given the title Mamalla, which means a great wrestler. So the name was converted from Mahabalipuram to Mamallapuram, considering the great king and his achievements. It was renamed Mahabalipuram, which is called till now. So the Pallava rose to the PNR in the South India after the decline of Gupta dynasty. They ruled over from 3rd century till end of the 9th century AD. So the best period of their rule was between 650 and 750 AD, and this period was called the Golden Age of Pallavas. So the 6th and 7th century were called the Golden Age of Pallavas. The Pallavas were very powerful. They were profound thinkers. Mamallapuram city was during the rule of the Pallavas. The great poets dramatists, artists, artisans, scholars, and saints emerged. As one can say that Pallavas are the pioneers and the forerunners of the new style, both in art and architecture. In the best place of praise of their skill and talent, new sculptures and unique paintings were innovative and exuberant. The place itself became their exploring field, and they made the best use of the resources. They gave a shape and creative energy to what they imagined. It became a dream come true as it is witnessed innovations in all styles. Right? And so the richness in Mahabalipuram or Mamallapuram was not to many, as these Pallavas did not outlet and expose their quality and innovative creations to the outer world of the obvious reasons. The articism of this of here was hidden until the late 18th century, which is the best about Mahabalipuram. Of course, everyone can point out rock-cut caves, temples made from single rock, temples and strips of different structures and the bas reliefs which are so artistic and sheer creativity. Mahabalipuram is referred to as an open-air museum. The great Pallava kings Narshimha I and Rajashima have well preserved their stylistic qualities that one enjoys this place even in the present day. The sightseeing places in English. So the beauty of this place is not only due to this architecture, but the vast transparent trees, the silvery sandy beach, the classical handmade crafts around have made them all to form what is called collective splendor. Any visitor who visits Mahabalipuram will remain startled and intoxicated with the grandeur. They feel hand-hearted and more out from this historical and fascinating tourist spot in India. So it is a small seaside town in Chengalpattu district in the South Indian state of Tamil Nadu. It is the best World Heritage Site set by UNESCO in 7th and 8th century. Mahabalipuram city, that is 12 degree 37 nautical miles north and 80 degree 1139 east nautical miles, about 59 kilometers south of Chennai. We can reach by east coast road via Kovalam. Kovalam is also a very important place. Crocodile sanctuary is there, and boat we can use boat to travel around this Kovalam beach, right? So it's a backwater lake kind of thing. It is the most famous tourist destination in Tamil Nadu, South India. Private and government tour operators can conduct trips to Mahabalipuram. Regular bus services are available from Kovalam bus stand, Chennai. The ancient tradition of stone carving still alive in Mahabalipuram. We can hear the rhythmic sounds of hammer and chisels every day. UNESCO has added these groups of monuments in the World Heritage List. Even from Chennai actually Thiruvanmiyur we can get the buses, right? Even AC buses are available and local normal buses are available. So the frequency of buses is around actually half an hour to 1 hour. So you can easily reach Mahabalipuram. So 50 kilometers from south of Chennai, in the direction of south, okay, from Chennai. Mahabalipuram city was an ancient port of Pallavas, who have created many marvelous monuments with sculptural panels, caves, monolithic rathas and temples. The fort was constructed by the Emperor Mahendra Varman, the father of Narshimha Varman, in the 7th century. The place is among the most outstanding examples of Dravidian art and architecture. So you can see the Shivakkumar in Sabadam actually written the epic work or a historical work written by Kalki. So there actually you can see all these stories about Narshimha Pallavan, Mahendra Pallavan, and Chalukya Pulikesi, and then how they constructed this Mahabalipuram, everything, right? So it is even the Shivakkumar and all these characters are imaginary characters, even though the Kalki is trying to link these original characters, Narshimha and Mahendra Pallava, to I can say the imaginary the creators created by imaginary people or the imaginary versions created by the writer Kalki. It's really good actually. Say we have a lot of movies around that and dramas around that. So it's really good to read. Okay, and once a thriving port tradition with many distant nations, the sculptures have breathed life into stone at this place. The Pallava art monumental splendor in the white beaches attracts tourism from all over the world. There is a huge rock tub said to be the bathing tube of Draupadi. Above on the rocky hill is a shrine of Vishnu without deity. One can see the old rock built a lighthouse and the modern lighthouse side by side. It is a real feast of the to the eyes that could read an epic in lively sculptures. So you can see how the Mahendra Pallava and Narshimha Pallava, the Pallava rollers, right? So all these people have worked out and creating this monumental and sculptural things. Right? That is really good. The climate is a tropical, wet and dry. During the May month, the temperature is about 39 degrees centigrade. It is too hot. It is the highest temperature. Lowest temperature in the month, in November and December, that is nearly 24.3 degrees centigrade. So sightseeing places in Mahabalipuram, that is a places to visit. So it has 40 ancient monuments and Hindu temples. Arjuna's Penis is one of the largest open-air rock relief in the world. This site has several types of monuments such as Radha. It is made up of monolithic processionals, chariots and mandapa viharas. Archaeological Survey of India is managing this site. It is under Archaeological Survey of India, Indian government. So the Pallava art at this place emphasizes robust, yearly beauty embedded with life. The Pallava have created many marvelous monuments, sculptural panels, caves, monolithic rathas and sculptural panels, caves, monolithic rathas and sculptural temples, monolithic episodes, epic battles, demons, gods, animals are all vividly depicted on the wall. Sculpture are breathtaking, real and artistic. The fantasy was created and architecture by the great Chirki Deva Perundachan. The Chirki name, that is the man who created, right? Actually, so that person's name, Chirki, his name is Deva Perundachan. So this monumental splendors and the sunny beach in attracts the tourism from all over the world. There are important places in Mahabalipuram, tourist spot nearby Chennai. This Devadeva Parindachan's, in Kalki's work, Shivakkumar in Sabadam. So the Devadevas, the chief sculpture, I can say, the monumental creator who created this temple, his imaginary daughter's name is Shivakkumar, which is created. It's an imaginary character created by Kalki. So, as per the story, actually, this Devadeva Perundachan's daughter Shivakkumar she was in love with Narshimha Pallava, son of Mahendra Pallava, and so they trying to get married, but actually due to a lot of internal internal issues, actually they were not married, and Narshimha Pallava was married to one another, actually the princess, and she lived a life actually till her death. Actually, she is in memory with the love and memory with Narshimha Pallava without marrying Narshimha Pallava. So it's a beautiful story. It's an imaginary story created by writer Kalki, who created actually the Ponniyin Selvan, Parthiban Kanavu, all this Alayosi, all this literary work, right? So it's already said actually we have lot of temples in and around the Mahabalipuram. The Shore temple in Mahabalipuram is very important. The Shore temple is one of the oldest temples in Tamil Nadu, that is South India. Shore temples of Mahabalipuram is enclosed by a row of bulls carved on a rock. The stately shrine set elegantly on the edge of the sea is a long survivor among the 7 magnificent temples built over there. The construction originally started around the middle of 7th century and was later rebuilt during the reign of Narshimha II, also known as Rajashimha. It is one of the oldest temples in South India, standing on the edge of the sea. The coil represents the first phase of sculptural or structural temples constructed in Dravidian style. This icon of the soaring artistic aspirations of the Pallavas has been listed among the World Heritage Sites of UNESCO and is one of the most visited monuments in Tamil Nadu. Originally, there were 7 such temples called pagodas, and only one has been spared. It has a vimana towering over 60 feet built in ballastic rock. A prismatic lingam on the sanctum facing the sea, and Vishnu is reclining on the ground. That is Shala Sayana in the chamber of in his chamber in the rear. The Shore coil or temple is in fact the complexes of 3 exquisitely carved shrines and are approached through a paved forecourt flanked by weathered perimeter walls supported striking sculptures of numerous Nandi bulls. The coil dedicated to Lord Vishnu, flanked by 2 Shiva coils, one facing the east and the other facing the west. Both the Shiva coil are crowned by soaring spires, while the Vishnu coil has none, as it may have crumbled with the time. The Vishnu temple was built by Narsimha first or Mamalla, while the Shivan coil were later built by his son Narshimha II. The monuments are flooded at night, and so it is possible to enjoy this beauty after the sunset too. It is said that there were 7 such temples, of which 6 have been weathered by the wind and the sea or the submerged in the sea, right? And Shore temple is one of the important places to visit in Mahabalipuram. So Arjuna's Penis is the splendor of Mahabalipuram town. It is a huge rock in the canvas unfolding the scene of gods and demigods, birds, beasts and natural scenery. Some are of the opinion that it is in fact Bhagirath's penis to bring the celestial Ganges to the earth. A natural cleft in rock has been clearly carved into the turbulent river Ganges, with serpent gods worshipping like devotees along with the bank of frozen in the prayer. Superb poetry in sculpture with no visitor should miss. This complicated, magnificent place, skillfully carved work, the largest bas-relief sculptures to the world. Arjuna, the epic hero of Mahabharata, is depicted here as a sage doing penance in order to obtain a divine weapon from Lord Shiva. All these carvings are made out of huge boulder. There is a natural cleft in the center of huge rock, which is conceived as a sacred river Ganga descending to the earth. Various various divine figures have been carved on all the sides. The piece of work is a masterpiece of creation in the expression. Particularly, the figure relating to the popular Panchachara stories. Bahirada Penas is one of the largest and the finest bas relief measuring 29 meters into 7 meters sculpture on the face of two enormous adjacent rocks. The panel is divided by the natural crack between the two rocks. Originally the water fed from the collecting chamber above, right, flowed down the fissure. A figure of beard stage with a floating ribs and standing on his left foot, deeply absorbed in performing penance, believed to be Bahirada, praying for the Ganga to descend to earth from the Himalayas. The carving depict realistic life-size image of birds, animals, deities, and other divine figures watching the flow of Ganga. Some others related this bas relief to Arjuna's penance, petitioning Lord Shiva for the divine weapon Pasubhadastram. The figure of animal, particularly two large elephants and scenes from this fable in the Panchachara and remarkable in the and unpretentious. The richness of iconographic content of carvings makes this unique. Arjuna Penas is one of the beautiful places to visit. Krishna temple of Krishna Mandapam in Mahabalipuram. There is a sculpture of the rock faces. There is a sculpture of the rock face of one of the wall Lord Krishna as a protector for all living beings, presenting man, bird, and beast. A stunning, beautiful bas relief showing Krishna lifting the Govardhana mountain in order to protect the cows and cowherds from the width of Indra, the god of rain. In the highest of the cave temples, like in Greek Puranas and ethics and all these stories, right? We have for each natural resource we have one god. Like that in Hindu, I can say Hindu religion also they are having lot of actually devas and gods representing the natural forces, right? So they are controlling the natural calamities, wind, rain, storm, fire, everything. So each force will have one god. So I can say is the highest of this cave temple. Krishna Mandapam epitomizes the real bliss and present activities that have changed little with the time, right? And then now we have cave temples. Mahabalipuram has more than 10 cave temples. There are in different stages of completion. Kodaikal Mandapam is very simple and Adivaraha Mandapam reaches the end of spiritual excellence. Most of the cave temples in Mahabalipuram are carved in large, one in south-north direction. Two cave temples can also be found at Chalukuppa, which is a little further away. The rock-cut cave tradition is represented by more than 13 caves, was first initiated by Mahendra first. So they are known for their simplicity in plan and decoration. Notable among the cave temples are Koneri Mandapa, Tirumurti Cave and Krishna Mandapa. And about 4 kilometers away in the cave temple complex Aluvan Kuppam, the tiger cave is excavated cave shrine with a roll of lion heads. It was an open theatre where cultural programs were held in the past during the Pallava times. Mahishasura Cave. The Mahishasura cave is carved into 3 shrines, bas relief of Somaskanda in the rear. Anandasaina Vishnu canopied by the Shesha, that is the snake actually, Adisheshan, over which Vishnu is taking sleep, right, or actually taking rest, reclining on the serpent bed. So Mahishasura is stuck on in bold relief in such an awe-inspiring way, with the thrill of the beholder in the battlefield. This is another excellent bas relief depicting Lord Vishnu sleeping on the coals of serpent king Adishesha and goddess Durga fighting it with a demon king Mahishasura. So the goddess gave the name from the Mahisha, the demon. From there actually the name Mahishasura was came or originated. So it is particularly remarkable scooped cave. Mahishasura cave temple is one of the important cave temple in Mahabalipuram. So the name comes to the goddess Parvati after she killed Mahisha the demon. So she got the name Mahishasura. So the 3-chamber temple house 2 unique sculptural blocks. Atop the hill is now damaged Uyak Oil Ishvara temple, nostalgically conveying its ancient state. So pillars with well-carved lion plinths give it a unique charm. A mandapam is erected in front of the middle sanctorium. All the 3 rooms with the gate gods. A bit confusing, or the Dwarapalakas, a vegetarian motif in the south and central rooms. The relief sculpture of Somaskandar on the wall of the center chamber and carved in such a large font is not commonly found in elsewhere in Pallava temples. It is a special thing that Lord Shiva sitting in Sukhasana with Vatsalya and his son Kandan. Kandan is nothing but Kartikeya, God Kartikeya or Murugan, right? Kandan is shown very happy. Brahma and Vishnu are seen gathered behind the family of deities. Nandi and under the feet is the pedestal for the deity couple. Devotees can also be seen. Apart from this cave, no other Pallava Somaskanda image, Nandi and devotees can be seen. So Mahishasura are sculptures. So the bas relief sculpture on the right wall of Aridha Mandapam shows Durga performing the Sura Samharam to Mahishasura. Defeated by the Mahishasura, the Devas appealed first to Brahma, then to Vishnu, and finally to Shiva, Lord Shiva. But all of them said that they could not defeat Mahishasura because of his mark. But their combined strength created a goddess that no one could defeat. Shiva's trident, Vishnu's wheel, and Varuna's conch Indra's bow and the arrow become the weapon for the 8 arms of Durga. Legend is that the Durga, youthful in appearance and carrying all the weapons in his hand. I can say in her hands, mounted on the lion vehicle and defeated Mahishasura in the of her wings, battle of his wings. Here we see only seven of the 8 weapons mentioned in the Purana. The bows poised and ready. In other hands we find conch, rope, bell, wheel, etc. Amrit pillar is seen with arrows on the left shoulder. When an arrow in shot, they are doing their assigned task for 8 moments. Their movements is visible in the sculpture. For a moment, one of them holds the umbrella that signifies this divinity. Another moment that the samaram blows. So another moment, samaram blows, right? So a female figure is seen in other moments of bearing. The still defeated Mahishasura is seen, but is well understood that this is the end of the war. Because of the Asura's feeling, from there it is a reality of the sculpture. The sculpture has made clear to us their fear-filled outlook and the momentary efforts to move forward. The hostility on the face is evident, and he happily presses his leg firmly on the ground with weapons in hand. The angle from which the master stands on that he is poised to move the story along gracefully. But the commotion seen in the crowd of Asuras, the moment of joy, their confidence, speed and fearlessness on the face of the goddess clearly and vividly show the state of war at the time. Mahishasura's buffalo head and human body are exclusively carved by the sculpture, a highlight. In this sculpture, Tanyamsam is balanced. Chapati has shown the fulfillness or fulliness of his thinking power in his sculpture. Ananda Sainam. So on the southern wall, Ananda Sainam Vishnu can be seen dancing on the mantle. The story is told in the Markandeya Purana. After giving Brahma the task of creation, Vishnu falls into the deep sleep on the blanket in the ocean of milk. 2 asuras appear in his ears and seek to grant Brahma's creative work. Returned Brahma applies to Lakshmi. Awakened by Lakshmi, Vishnu destroys the demons. The 2-armed Lord Vishnu reclines on the bed of the 5-hearted serpent named Adisheshan. The right arm is extended and the left is folded. The left hand is crab seal. The head and chest are slightly raised. Left knee is slightly bent. Other limbs are straightened. Right? Under the feet of Lord Vishnu, Goddess Bhudevi appears with the outstretched arms. Conch, wheel, sword and shield are seen as weapon and 2 below and 2 above. Near the feet of 2 ghosts named Madhu and Kaidapan can be seen plotting something. The one on the right plans to the attack. The back of one hand is close to the back of the other. The system is alive.
The block and the one opposite it are very fine. His sculpture detail, art experts. They have written in a way of beautiful thinking power and artistic beauty of the sculptures in the sculptural block. The image of Vishnu is in a yogic slumber, as through he is asleep but is still awake incomparable. His plainness and the meaning demeanor of the asuras are contrast with each other and suggested ongoing drama. While some of the characters are seen with a moment, Vishnu's motionless position in a horizontal position suggests the elegance of the sculptures and the mastery of the sculptures. Varaha Cave Temple. Varaha Cave Temple is a small rock cut mandapam featuring 4 panels of fine-looking doorkeepers and 4 interesting interesting bas reliefs. Lord Vishnu is shown in the cave coil in the coronation of Varaha, his boar, and the Vamana as a dwarf. This is exiguously caved as a relief, as bas relief. Varaha cave illustrations of legend rescuing Earth Bhudevi by Vishnu incarnated as a boar. The Tiger Cave. The Tiger Cave is about 4 km north of the main monument complex. There is a beautiful monolithic stage where cultural programs were held during the Pallava period. Though very near to the sea, the space is serene and calm. This can be considered as one of the Adyanda Commons innumerable artistic upheavals. The unique character, unlikely any other temple, arouses curiosity as to what purpose of its construction might have been. The facade of the structure, which is a stadium, has the heads of 11 valleys in a semi-column circular shape. All heads seem to be looking towards the stage of arena. All of them are designed in the best possible way, with joy like no other. On either side of the arena, God watches over the flowering tigers. There are some unfinished sculptures on the southern side of the rock. Deities can see in ambaris on elephants, ambaris on the elephants, which are called trunks and large ears. What these image systems are trying to explain in also a puzzle. Similarly, on the northern side of the rock, we can find huge lions standing in the initial position and the crescent on its belly. It seems that they try to create an imaginary or image similar to the lion temple in the complex of beach temples, right? Ambari. So Radhas, Mahabalipuram mined cover images of the chariots there, carved out of single stones. This can be considered as one of the wonders of the world. These are replicas of temples built of stone. Building of this types first created by the Pallavas. Why many people do not practice this method anywhere but Mahabalipuram remains a mystery. Mahabalipuram stand out in respect as well. There are 9 such temples here. Among these there are 5 important ones known as Pancha Pandava Radhas. Apart from this, there is a Ganesha Radha. A little further, there are 3 more chariots. 2 of these are called Pitari Radham and one called Valayan Kuttai Radham. Apart from this, Some rathas are stopped with this, soon after starting. Some puzzles that are being started in many areas and stopped without continuing. Pallavas have shown their talent in a unique work. Each is unique in setting. The Dharmaraj chariot is a square in shape, Bhimaraj as oblong square shape. The chariot of Sahadeva is oblong in shape. There are also changes in the structure. In the number of angular peaks of Dharmaraj chariot peak like the cot rest in Bhimarada, a huge roof like ridge on the Draupadi Radha. Unlike the sculptural building system, these are carved from a single stone. It should be started from top of those that there is no mistake from the beginning when carving. Even a small mistake, for example, in one of the sculpture in the nest can ruin the whole work. Besides, the sculptors who work in different positions, standing, sitting, and lying down, must have put in a lot of handwork. Due to this, in many places, the sculptures seem to have unfinished parts. These rock-cut temples, named after the Pandava brothers and Draupadi, are excellent temples of Pallava art. All 5 monuments are called Rathas as they are full-size models and look like chariots of the Koil. So, however, they recall the earlier architecture of the Buddhist chapels and the monasteries. In addition, the Ganesh Ratha is north side is also a beautiful piece of art. So, the architecture resembles Dravidian temples with their imposing towers and multi-pillared halls and sculptured walls. Ganesh Radha. Ganesh Radha is cut out of single rock. The shrine resembles a chariot. The oblong monolithic sculpture is only Rath which has been completed. Though this temple was a Shiva temple earlier, not it is dedicated to Lord Ganesh. Tirumurti temple. Tirumurti temple has 3 shrines to Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. The pillar of this temple are omagnated with multifaceted figures on the facade of standing Mahishasura Mardini goddess Durga. Pandava Rathas are Punha, 5 Rathas are monolithic temple of Pancha Pandava Rathas. Mahabalipuram is the home for 5 Ratha temples of Pancha Pandava. Racks carved into 2 series of hills running north and south. Seeing these chariots is an unforgettable experience when seen. Although these types are arranged as if they were scattered in irregular manner and created confusion in the mind of the beholder, something must have been done in a plan. We see them as an immortal epics carved in many different ways and placed in completely different settings. The various Rathas formation here are basically huge stone sculptures carved into the hills. But prosecutors, the precursors to the architecture of the later temples, helping us to understand their history correctly. A set of 5 monolithic rock temples are located in the sandy compound. It is considered as the artistic or architectural prototype evaluation of Dravidian temple architecture. 5 Rathas are also known as Pancha Pandava Rathas. The Pandava Rathas are monolithic shrines, or 5 in number, out of which 4 are carved out of single rock, while the 5th is scooped from a small rock. The hut like the Draupadi Rath sports doorkeepers. Durga with a worshipper cutting and offering his neck. And the outer walls of Arjuna Rathas have must be lovely and graceful figures of God and mortals carved by the skillful sculptor. Nakula Sahadeva Radha stands with a high monolithic elephant in front. Bhima Radhas has 2 stories and lion-based pillars. Dharmaraj Rath is biggest and has 8 panels of exquisite sculptures. They are richly carved with an art motifs and wall panels depicting many Hindu divinities and royal portraits. Okay, and Dharmaraj chariot. From the inscription of this temple, we know its name. Adiyanda Kama Pallaveswara Griham. This Shiva temple is great treatment or testament to the sculptural skill of Pallavar Sadapti, a feast for the eyes in the height and beauty. The 3-story temple was originally built with a sanctum on each floor. They have tended to build a sanctorium in the middle of the lower floor and circle around. But the work did not come to an end. The sanctorium with the Somaskandar as the source is completed on the upper floor. The steps from the bottom to the second floor are not finished. From the second floor to the third floor is a step in the eastern direction. This unfinished art form has some unique features. There are many relief features of Shiva and Vishnu on all 3 floors. The sculptures here can be considered as one of the finest sculptures in Tamil Nadu. These are examples of the later temple sculptures of the Tamil Nadu. Only one chariot has inscriptions, but there is a different opinion among the sculptures as to who is the Adi and the common mentioned here. While the lower level is a square architecture, the peak and the neck supports it or angular in shape. At the ground level, there is a Ardha Mandapam and pillars with a lion bases. Both sides have revealed carvings on the presence. Floor sculptures. There are 7 deities like Hariharan, Ardhanari, etc. in the total 8 sculptures on each corner of the 4 sides. The 8th figure may be that of Narshimha Pallava. A similarity can be seen in these relief sculptures. As these are neutral, Samapada is likely a sanctorium set up for the prayer. The right hand is placed in the Abhaya Mudra and the left hand is placed on the hip. Bhimaratha. The Bhimaratha is a temple next to the Dharmaraja Ratha. Is a big and majestic in form. Its upper structure is like a cage car. So the sculpture of this temple is called road form. The temple has 2 floors, but there is no way to go to the upper floor. The base consists of 4 pillars and 2 half pillars to flanking seated lions. After that, they have decided to set up their sanctorium. The path around the sanctum was stated and not completed. The work, which has been completed in various stages, has stopped halfway. The unfinished conditions may be due to the natural crack in the middle of the rock. There are no sculptures or inscriptions on the lower floor of the temple. As it is an oblong square structure, it can be assumed that this temple must have belonged to the Pallikonda Perumal. The cage-like top structure is curved. The round neck below it has 5 windows. These are called nasiga, noses. They are supported by the hall pillars. In some presents, like royal figures, are seen on the bust. These are carved along the existing wooden structure. The makaras on both sides are beautifully depicted with flower arrangements coming out of their mouths. The delicate bearing are at the four corners. In the middle there are a copy of temple figure with a square base, carved in a similar structure with a slightly different bases, can be seen in the Sahadeva Ratha and the Ganesha Ratha. A Shiva temple is similar setting is found near the the beach temple next to Varaha image. And then actually Arjuna Radham. Arjuna Radham is a magnificent temple with an categorical or octagonal peak and 2 floors next to the Bhima Radha. Looks like Dharmaraja chariot but smaller in size. There is no way to go to the upper floor. These and adjacent Draupadi Radham are carved on a single pedestal supported by the elephants. There is an arrangement in front of the sanctum facing west. There is no sculpture inside. On the exterior of this, all the 3 walls with magnificent sculptures are very well carved, like Dharmaraja Radham. But unlike Dharmaraja Radham, the sculptures are slightly different. Not everyone will be impressed. Deities can be seen in the sculptures in the middle. Other contain royal figures. Next are the idols of Dwara Balagar, Draupadi Radham. The smallest of feathers. This temple is carved in the shape of small but with the exquisite elegance is designed for the worshippers. The image of the goddess carved in the sanctum is a special feature of the temple. The Pallavas are very devoted to Durga. At many places in Mahabalipuram, the form of Durga was created by the Pallavas. Arjuna's Radham and Draupadi's Radham are one of the same pedestal. The sides of the plinth are carved with the lions and elephants standing succession. Vimana is carved like a simple but on the top, but simple hat on the top of the square-shaped sanctum sanctorium. Beautiful flags work it seems at its end. The gate door and the adjacent crescent decorated with beautiful makara tornas. In addition to this, designed flower pots under the roof eaves. Delicate slates guard the gate. Though similar in appearance, there are stubble differences between them. On the back wall of sanctum, there is a sculpture of Koraval. The goddess depicted standing on a lotus flower with the 4 hands. Both the upper and lower limbs are seen with moments. One arm of goddess is mutilated. In the other hand, she carries a wheel. One of the lower 2 arms is Abhayam sign. The other hand on his thigh. We see a scene where one is stable of the consecration with the flower, while the other decapacities with the sword. We have seen the same scene in the Varaha Mandapam. On the crescent on the 3 outer walls, the relief sculptures of the goddess can be seen in different stages of completion. Above each of these are Makara Tornas or Mahara Tornas. Sahadeva Radham. The wonderful vision of Pallava to try all kinds of the system is seen here. In shapes of resembles like back of the elephant and is called Gajaprastham rest or Sabha initiated below. The temple has the same shape from the base to the top. This rock must have seen separate from other rocks. Three tiered temples facing the south because of the natural pushings of the rock. The upper structures resemble the chariots, the Dharmaraja, Bhima and Arjuna. Decorates arches and arches of the south side of the temple, the sides of Bhima's chariot. A small sanctum is found. There is no source, god or gatekeeper in the sanctorium. There is not a lower for which the daily this temple was built. A large elephant image is carved near this temple. Patience can be found in the design of the elephant and the sleeper. Perhaps the elephant sculpture was placed here to show the importance of iconography. And Mahabalipuram Mandavas. So we have Kodaikal Mandabam, Konneri Hall, Dharmaraja Mandabam, Adivarga Mandabam, Pallava Kings and Queens, and Pallava Kings and Queen, another sculptures, right? Shiva as Gangadhara, Vishnu, Durgai, and Varaha Mandabam, and then we have Trimurti Mandabam, so Ramanuja Mandabam, and Adirasanda Mandabam, and Mahishasura Mardini open air relief sculptures, and Dwarabalakas of Vishnu temple, and Subramaniam temple, Krishna's butterball. It is very important here. So Krishna's butterball, a huge boulder with just a tip of it touching the rock, giving the onlooker an impression that it may roll on him any moment. The Krishna butterballs is near the Ganesha Radha. It is near to the narrow rock base. Pallava kings attempted to move it, but all the kings and their elephants are not able to move the boulder even by an inch. Okay, and we have Government College of Architecture and Sculpture is available. Open air museum is available. Nitya Kalyana Perumal temple is near to that, and then we have Cholamandal Artist Village is near to that, and